In this chapter, we're going to talk about when to use a tripod and how to use a tripod. You want to use a tripod whenever your shutter speed drops below about a 60th of a second, or to put it another way, whenever your shutter speed is so slow that you can't keep the camera rock steady with your hands. Here's a good example of that. The photograph was taken in the evening just after the lights came on and just as the sun was hitting the horizon, so the light was pretty dim, bright enough to light some things, bright enough to keep the sky kind of blue, but late enough to be nighttime. You want to use a tripod whenever you need to keep your hands free, or whenever you want your hands to be free of the camera. For instance, one good way to keep the camera steady without a cable release or a remote control is to set the self timer on the camera. Then you know the camera won't move as a result of trying too hard to click the shutter button. Another time you might keep your hands free is if you're using a reflector to one side of the subject and the camera is someplace else taking the picture. Or if you just like to walk around and gesture while you're photographing a person for a portrait. Finally, you want to use a tripod whenever you need to keep the camera rock steady. One of those instances would be when you need to bracket an exposure so that you can put those bracketed layers one above another in exact register inside of Photoshop to extend the range of the picture. And I'll show you how to do that later in these lessons.